Hi, Libra. All right, happy opposite birthday, or whenever you find this, Libra. So I decided, or it was decided, rather, that, when you spread your energy too thin, it's, like, give equal portions to everything. That's nice. But sometimes you got to give it specifically to that which is giving to you so that it's fair. Right? Because there's going to be certain times, certain seasons, etc., where there's certain energy coming from certain places, people, places, and things they're like, you give, and then they're like, hey, hi, it's fair. Do you know what I mean? It's fair. So try not to spread yourself too thin with that which is not giving to you. It's not rude, I see, to do that. What you're doing here is finding what is, because there's always going to be shifts with that. Do you know what I mean? Do you see this? What is that? Is it zoomy? I don't know. I feel like that's like a good spirit. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on, Libra. This is Esoteric Astrology by Alice Bailey. It's volume 3 of the 7 rays. Let's see what this orange marker is. Oh, we looked up unicorn. Okay. Oh, my friend Deb made this, and look what it says. Fortune in relation to Pisces and Aquarius, Capricorn. Okay, good. Okay, listen. I guess we're going to read this. I love you, God. Okay. Okay, this particularly is talking about a cardinal cross. Now, I know some of you, this may be a little complicated, so just, even if you don't fully understand, try to pick up on what you can. Those of you who are aware, cardinal, and I guess we can learn together. Cardinal is Libra, you. Capricorn, Aries, your opposite, and Cancer. These are all, if you want to look in your map, maybe some of you have a cardinal cross. Even if you technically don't have aspects there, these houses are being highlighted. Now it says, humanity as a whole is in a state of turmoil prior to a great step forward in self-conscious unfoldment, and in the expression of the sense of responsibility, which is the first flower and fruit of self-conscious awareness. This fact is responsible for sweeping into the conflict in a peculiar and pronounced manner. The forces of Cancer, which are involuntary in nature, and of Leo, concerned with individualization, and of Gemini, expressive of man's essential duality. You find, therefore, today, the activity of the mass consciousness of Cancer, which is indicative of the activity of the cardinal cross in the involuntary stage. The self-consciousness of man is indicated by Leo, the most human sign of all, and indicative of the fixed cross, and Gemini, which gives the sense of dual nature of man, human and divine, which is the goal of the consciousness of experience upon the mutable cross. Let's read this one sentence again. That was a big mouthful. I know. She's very intelligent. I feel like she channeled most of this through spirit. A great step forward in self-conscious unfoldment is the expression of the sense of responsibility, Responsibility being the first flower and fruit of self-conscious awareness. Oh, some of you that okay, you have Cobra here, which is about your spiritual, it's like a spiritual teacher. Okay, it's like it's strong medicine though. It's strong medicine. Okay, what are we trying to say here? Thank you, Libra. Well, firstly, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for being strong enough, especially those of you who have been here and those of you who are here now, to have these kind of conversations, to be brave enough to acknowledge your weirdness, to acknowledge the magic of life, the depths of your soul, the healing of your heart, the ego checking, the honesty, all of it. I thank you so deeply. Because the world is in turmoil, right? All the time. You can feel it. It's hard, right? And then what happens when you have your own? Well, I suppose acknowledge that. Okay. I would also look to, what did that mention? Cancer, Leo, so Sun, Moon, and then Gemini, Mercury. These actually all touch, right? It's like the middle of the year. So June, July, August could also be important. Oh, yes. Okay, Libra. So for some reason I wrote this. There's this poem I'm writing for everyone this month. You ready? 7 minutes. You are my strength, my peace, my heart. Help me know where and when to start. Ease my sorrow, bind my brokenness. Bless this time. Let me rest. Okay. Then there was also these other words. There was something about something farther reaching. Okay? Something farther reaching. I don't know if this is your efforts. There's also, this is the beginning, farther reaching. And then there's these words in between. And at the end, it's faraway lands, which I feel, again, emphasizes this Pisces energy. So farther reaching. I want you to think about that. That your efforts matter. Sometimes we think in this moment, okay, when you're doing something with purity, it matters. Not just in that moment. Does it matter in that moment? Yeah. But that matters generations in the future. Right? Sometimes the blessings that we receive as an individual, the strengths, the opportunities, that can come from way, way in the past, way beyond when we were conscious that this was happening, something connected to us a long time ago. So the second words were good eyes. So this is understanding, right? Maybe some of you would be helpful to get your eyes checked as a basic thing. I also saw the word creative and the word collections. So I don't know if any of you are artistic. Remember, life is an art project, right? Your sextile Leo talks about this a lot, but life's an art project. But I feel like if their creativity is collections, creative energy is starting to collect. It's starting to gather. Something's starting to gather, which is going to give you new. Maybe this is the good eyes to be like, okay, wait, I can put these things together. Like this goes together. And then I saw helping hands, hands that help, right? I guess your hands, what do they say? Idle hands are the devil's playground, right? So not to busy yourself so you don't think or feel, But remember, you have support, okay? Then I also saw a garden really beautifully growing, okay? And then this also connects to, again, faraway lands. Maybe for some of you, this could go into, like we talked about generations before. If you know anything about your family, in the past, generations back, maybe that's something that could be inspiring to you. And even if you don't know their names, you don't know exactly their birthdays or this technicality, you know where they're averagely from. Maybe that could be something that you could look into to help you to be inspired. And maybe, because you are my strength, my peace, my heart. Okay, I guess that's what we're supposed to say about that. So, let's see where you are, Libra. Okay, Zebra. Zebra. Zebra and the moon. Okay, so some of you are like, I'm too different. I don't know how, I want to be weird. I don't want to be weird. I want to be normal. Or you don't know how to express yourself. Or you're worried if you express who you really are. Like, because zebra can't change its stripes, right? It can change the way it walks. It can change where it walks. It can change who it hangs around with. It can change what it eats. It can change all of these things it can change. But it can't change its stripes. So, what does Teacher Cobra say? Cobra to me is Rahu Ketu, particularly Ketu. Oh yes, Ketu will be going, the South Node will be going through your sign. Okay, so look, Cobra is actually with the Wheel of Fortune. So, what does Cobra represent? Well, they're good at pausing, right? Waiting. They may kind of, this is like Cancer energy. Cancer moves like this, back and forth. So does Scorpio. So does probably Pisces. All the water kind of does this, in and out, left and right, in and out, left and right. It wants to see things from different perspectives before it moves forward, right? Because part of the power of the Cobra is that which it holds within itself. So now, in this deck particularly, Kim Krans, which I love her, she made this, she made this deck when she was so depressed. She dealt with depression most of her life. And drawing this creative expression was actually very, very helpful for her depression, for her sorrow, right? Because we all have our weakness, right? Our weaknesses. But this is how she decided to be constructive, artistic versus destructive, and etc. So anyway, I'll take her opinion on this, which I like. She says that Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving, this teacher. It says the essence of Cobra is found deep within us. And can manifest externally in those special guides who have led us along the path. It says, what would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn about? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Now, to bring this into balance, to keep this kind of like this, right? It's a little more fluid. Music helps, right? Snake charmers use music, not vocals, just tonality. That helps keep it in flow. So maybe taking this class or studying. I would also see some of you have a very powerful teacher. Like, it's a teacher that gives you medicine that is not always easy. It's almost like badger medicine or something like that. Cobra medicine, badger medicine. It's like they're going to tell you the truth. They're not going to sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? It's not that it's not loving, though, because you know what the thing is with Scorpio energy, and there's spider underneath, more Scorpio energy, and then sea serpent, which is another snake. So sometimes to alleviate the poison, the suffering, like the antidote to a snake bite is venom, but just enough. And so remember that, well, you can learn from anyone, but some of you do have a very strong teacher. Okay, please don't be afraid of who it is that you are, okay? Don't be afraid of who it is that you are, Libra. You actually have a big moon coming up, an eclipse in this time, right? Whenever you find this, there's eclipse energy around this reading. So maybe some of you feel shy. Let's see what's going on with other people. Oh my God. So everybody else loves you. They're like, you're so special. You're so awesome, Libra. You're my best friend. God, Libra's so good. Like, oh my God, that we just so much praise. And it's real. It's not fake praise. But it's almost like to you, maybe because you're air, 17 minutes even, because you're air, you're like, are your words true? Are you just saying that? You know, you're recorded on the same day as Capricorn. And they talked about where when there's something that you don't feel weak about, you don't feel strong, well, you don't feel weak about, yes, acknowledge that. Be like, wow, I'm not as weak about that anymore. You know, like I heard someone say, oh man, if this was me back in the day, I would have handled this a completely different way. Right? And acknowledge your strength, your peace, your heart. That which you need, easing of your insecurity or of your how do I see it? Oh God, I want to cry. I don't know what kind of tears they are, though. They're not exactly like... That feeling that came was like... Well, I see it's a time of rebirth. Right? Like Aquarius said, reborn. It's like we're all shedding, especially with Scorpio, the South Node going through Scorpio. We're all like, that's why I think so many people are grieving or have been grieving deeply. And it's physical. Taurus, the other side of it. There's things that have left our life. There are emotions that were deep down in our belly that are now, it's all letting us out. So what happens when the South Node, when K2 goes into your sign, it could very well be balanced. And because of that, K2 sometimes can bring spiritual gifts from another time. Interesting. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Oh my, awesome. Okay, Crow and Judgment. So I would pay attention to the crow when it shows up. Blackbirds. Well, you have bird. Blackbird. What is it? Blackbird fly. Is that a Beatles song? Blackbird fly. what is it that stops you from loving yourself? There's like this, all these emotions, so we're just going with it. What is it, Libra? What was it that happened to you that made you question whether you're lovable? That wasn't the purpose of that experience. Okay, Crow and Judgment are both looking over. Let's read this again. You are my strength, my peace, my heart. Help me to know when and where to start. You don't need to know the why. You don't need to know how it's all going to work out. What's important here is where and when. And you know, for some of you, I'm seeing this sentence where it's just like, someone's like, are you sure? Like, am I sure? I don't know. I don't know. And then someone's just like, well, if not now, when? If not now, when? No, this is not a suggestion to strike forward full force. We're not talking about that. Crow is has to be very intentional when it flies. You have a guide in the spirit world. What's that about? I mean, everybody does, but you have a guide in the spirit world that helps you. You have a guide that helps you to feel grounded. Yes, and I see they love you so much, and all they want for you is to be happy. To know that you are loved. To know that you are lovable. To know that you are a good partner. To know that you are strong. That you are so caring. But remember what we said. If your energy is too flip-floppy, oh my, yeah, we just dropped the whole deck of cards. If your energy is too flip-floppy, I see, please pray. Also, remember, at this time, give to that which gives to you. Don't spread yourself too thin. Okay? Because some things don't want help. Or some things it doesn't matter. You keep putting something in a pile, and it's not about, well, I give to you, so and it needs to be the same back to me. It's not this mathematical cold equation. It's just being conscientious of like, okay, I know that when I put energy into this, it is reciprocal, it is fair, it's heart-centric, right? It's love. Where you put your strength, peace, your love, etc. Don't try not to give it, or rather, use your wisdom, okay? Don't waste your energy. Nope, because you'll become a little burnt out bumblebee, okay? Too heavy. Like you have all the, like you're the only bee gathering all the, pollinating all the flowers. It's just like, there are a lot of flowers, Libra. Maybe this will also help you to realize like where you're about energy, or about, again, where your energy is or how it is expended. Also, maybe for some of you, maybe this is how you could balance your relationships a little bit better, right? Maybe come a little bit closer, start building with that which really does appreciate and love you. Okay? Yeah. Let's see. I see friends during this time could also be very life-changing. If you have any people in your life that are not nice, that are mean, that are fake, then you don't have to figure out why they're fake, why it's fake. It doesn't matter. Nope, leave them alone. Capricorn talked about that. Okay? And you know what? You do have a couple really awesome people, like friends in your life. There's like smaller circles. These smaller circles, right? A-okay. Oh, did you look? These smaller circle of people that which gets you out of your serious, too. Out of your serious. Out of your serious. Out of your serious. What gets you out of your serious? What gets you out of your serious? Serious. What gets you out of that? Some exercise? That might do it. Some fun? That might do it. Who is your, there's two other friends. There's two, you got, again, a handful, everybody has a handful of friends. That's really what they got. That are real. Who are they in your life? Now, this doesn't mean you can rely on them for every single thing. But you know that after you interact with them, I guess this is another thing, Libra, in ways of your energy to close this out. Yes. Especially before that Jupiter moves, okay? After you hang out with somebody, how do you feel? Now, this doesn't mean that there won't be times where you're like, whoa, I heard that was a leaving, or that was emotional, or whatever. You can have that come up, but then it's like the shift of it, right? And if, say for instance, you hang out with somebody and it's after you leave, you're like just repeating the conversation that happened, the thing that frustrated you, or the thing that, like, if it's just looping and you get too much in your head, then that's probably not where you need to be putting your energy. If you leave the situation, you're like, wow, I feel awesome. Oh my God, I'm going to go be creative. Like, not a big push, but like where it's like, oh, wow, I feel good. Like, I'm so happy I'm so happy that I did that. Like, I'm so happy, whatever. Because you know what? There are people, especially with all these shifts of these big stars, collectively speaking, there are things that are going to go away from us. Right? There are some things that will stay and become stronger, and there are some things that will go away. And how yes. And you know what the beautiful thing is don't try to chase the thing down that just puts you in a loop in your head. Please. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Please. Yes. 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 Here we go. Let's look at these. We got 6. We got Justice, 9 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Little Page, awesome artist card. We got the Sun card, 2 happy inner children. Oh my goodness, so happy. We got fairness. We got faith, overcoming something really difficult, and succeeding in where we are. I would also say that until like June, you can walk with the horsey. You can pet the horsey. You can take it out in the yard, but in ways of going from here to there, just don't go too fast. Right? This is the year of the rabbit. Rabbit is like snake, very still, and then it's very quick, and then it stops, and it rests, then it assesses, then it steps forward again. Okay? Also, if there's anybody in your life you don't trust, Libra, let it be. Just the important thing here is for you to be yourself. Okay. I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being here. I don't know if we mentioned this, but I'd like to tell everybody in this time, like, for you to want to look at, like, have these kind of conversations. These are real. I don't know. I can't seem to have a surface conversation. That isn't who I am, you know? I mean, Pluto like mirrors up into this space where we're talking here now. So it's like putting light in the dark, you know? And I really applaud you for being as strong as you are. To have these conversations, to open your heart in the space, right? These conversations couldn't be had if you weren't strong enough to be able to be open enough to have these kind of discussions, to feel these, to have feelings be worked through, so that the soul is more at ease, so that to find even humility, you know, and to have more faith in the strengths that God has granted you, Libra, in the talents you have been given, in the grace you have, right? That's one of Libra, to me, that is one of Libra's great. I think you hold the greatest, you're one of the signs that holds the greatest amount of grace. But you, like Virgo, it's hard for you to be human sometimes because you always want to hold it together. But that's not being honest either. No, you can't. Because you need to learn how to receive too. Okay? Yes. All right, I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much. There's Rabbit, for being a part of this place. I hope you have a wonderful now whenever you find this. I hope this turned some knobs for you to help you to see that you're part of, well, I see that you are part of the community, that you don't have to tax yourself so much to be a part of something. Okay? You just... And thank you for your hard work. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you next time.